wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Al-Hilal again. This is our lecture number 12. Today we are also going to discuss a passage or an article from our interaction book. So basically this is lecture number 12. This is the stuff that we are going to deal with today. So the article is on page 50 and 51. We are also going to discuss this article by looking at some of the main verbs that are in this article and look at their inflection into the past. We will also have some generative questions, some general comprehension questions about this article. Then we are going to deal with the idea of using a dictionary and looking at the alphabetical order of words as you are going to see in a minute. So this is the article. It is on page 50 and 51, a very short article. I'm going to read it very quickly, then we move on to the exercises that we have in this lecture. So this is the title of the article on page 50 and 51, Our Family Reunion. These are pictures of my family. I took the pictures last summer. We don't live together. We live in different cities, different states, and 2 countries. But we often talk to each other on the phone or send email. Every summer, all the relatives come together for a week. This is our family reunion, and it is so much fun. There are 2 branches in our family, one branch from Mexico and one from the United States. People come to the reunion from California, Arizona, New York, and Florida. Other people come from Mexico City and Puerto Vallarta. We alternate the reunion place, 1 year in Mexico and the next, 1 year in Mexico and the next year in Arizona. My great-grandparents lived in Puerto Vallarta, and my grandparents now live in Arizona. At the reunion, we have a picnic one day. We play baseball, swim, and eat a lot. We play volleyball too. One day, some of us go shopping. One night, we always have a big barbecue. We sit around a fire, tell stories, and eat a lot. Some of my aunts and uncles sing. On the last night, we have a dinner party at a nice hotel. Our family really likes to eat. We don't only eat, we visit each other all week. We talk about problems, we plan weddings, sometimes we argue, all bring their new babies, new wives and husbands. It is good to have a big family, but at the end of the week, I am always very tired. I am happy to be alone. So basically, this is the article on page 50 and 51. We are going to go through the vocabulary and the verbs as usual. Then we are going to do some exercise related to finding words in a dictionary. Okay, so these are the verbs that are used in this article. We have divided them into present and past. The verb come, the past of come is of course came. Alternate is a regular verb, so you just add ed at the end, so it's alternated. To alternate between 2 things, يتناوب or تناوب, in the sense that we alternated the visit. تناوبنا الزيارة, so basically one week somebody come, the week after we can basically obey the visit. Talk, talked. Send, sent. And have, had. Swim, swam. Eat, ate. And play, played. Sit, sat. While sing, sang. Do, did. And plan, planned. Notice that here we double the consonant n, that is at the end of the verb. So plan becomes planned, where we have double n in the verb. Argue, argued, and bring, brang. So bring, brought, and eat, ate. We already had that. Take, took. Sit, sat. Go, went. Tell, told. And that's it. Okay, so these are the list of verbs we have gone through. The ones that are to the left-hand side are the present tense, while the one to the right hand side are the past tense verb. Now we have some general comprehensive question about this passage. Question number 1 says, how often does the family have a reunion? How often? How many times? Do they do it every day, every year, every month? Each month or each year, every 5 years? So the answer is basically clearly stated in the passage that they do this every week, or they say that more than one time, that 1 week they were very tired, that the last day of the week they were. So basically they were talking about 1 week reunion. So how often does the family have a reunion? They have it, of course, every year, but it lasts for 1 week. So the correct answer is that they don't have it, of course, each month or every 5 years, but they do it each year or every year. So the correct answer is every year. Sorry. Okay, so it is every year. Question number 2. How long is the reunion? Does it last for 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 year? As I said before, it lasts for only 1 week. It's a 1 week reunion. 1 week. Third question, in the writer's opinion, what is the most important about a family reunion? Why do people reunite? Why do they gather together? Is it a chance to eat a lot? Or is it to bring family members together? Or everyone brings their new wives and husbands? Clearly it is the second choice, where basically what is important, or what's most important about family reunion, is that it brings family members together. As you can see, it brings family members together. Okay, moving to the following part of the lecture, where we need to deal with the idea of using a dictionary and how to locate, how to find a word in a dictionary. As you can see here, I have prepared the alphabet of English so that you can always refer to. This is a link that you can find on YouTube, where you can basically play this link through in YouTube and see there's an educational video that can help you understand how to locate a word in a dictionary, following a very simple rules, and we are going to explain them in here. We are going to use this order, the alphabetical order of English letters, every now and then, whenever we refer to how to find a word in a dictionary. So of course we cannot basically play this video here, but I have left the link for you so that you can do that at your own convenience. But it is already there on YouTube. Anybody can watch at any time. It is not that important for the lecture, but it is there just to make things easier for you. We are going to explain what we need right now. So what we are after is that the words in a dictionary are in alphabetical order. So when you have a dictionary, the words in the dictionary are arranged according to their order in the alphabet. So we start with words that start with the letter A, then we find words that are in the letter B, then words in the letter C, and so on and so forth. What you need to look? You need to look at the first letter of each word to put the words in alphabetical order. So let's look at this example. These words are in alphabetical order. Why they are in alphabetical order? Okay, the first word starts with the letter A. So we know that A is the first of the letters in the alphabet. So this is word number 1 that you find in the dictionary. Now, the word D is number 2. Why is that? Because we have F, we have W. Which one comes first? If we look here, D comes before F, and also comes before W, which is right at the end. Okay, so this is going to be number 2. Food, number 3. and woke is number 4. So these words are found in the dictionary according to this order. So basically, we would expect the word apple to be found in the first part of the dictionary, where we talk about where we have words that start with A. Then, because we do not have words that start with B or C, we immediately arrange diet, then food, and then woke, and so on and so forth. So these words are in alphabetical order. It means they follow the order of the alphabet of English language. Now here's another example. If the first letter is the same, you need to look at the second letter too. So sometimes there is the question of how can I know the order of words in the dictionary if all of them start with the same letter. So those words, all of them starts with C. Now, when we have this situation, we look at the following letter. So here we have A, and we know that A is the first letter of the alphabet. So this is going to be the first word. Now, what about cobble and cob? We have C and we have C, but cobble is followed by O, while cob is followed by U. We know that O comes before U. So clearly this is going to be the second, while this is going to be the third. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. So depending on the order of the words according to the alphabetical order. Okay. Now what if we have two letters exactly the same in all the words? How can we know? If we have two letters which are exactly the same, we look at the third letter. And if we have three letters which are the same, we even look at the fourth letter, and so on and so forth until we find which word should happen first. So if the first and the second letters are the same, you need to look at the third letter, and so on. So look at these words: coffee, cola, and company. All of them start with C-O, C-O, C-O. But how could we know that coffee comes before cola and cola comes before company? We look at the third letter, which is F here. Now we know that an F letter occurs before an L. That is an L, and before an M as well. So that is 1, that is 2, and that is 3. So that's why we arrange them according to 1, 2, 3, according to where they are found in the dictionary, which one comes first in the dictionary. So we look at the second. If the second is the same, we look for the third. If the third is the same, we look for the fourth, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now this is another similar exercise. It is on page 53, where we need to put the words in alphabetical order by numbering them. In other words, we have 4 words. We need to tell which one is found first in the dictionary, which one is found in the part of the dictionary, which one you can find according to the alphabetical order of the dictionary. Now look at these words. All of them start with the letter E. Now in this case, we need to look after the second letter. Here we have V, L, X, and G. Which one comes first? Is it V? Is it L? Is it X? Is it G? Clearly, the one that we find closest is G. So we would expect eggs to be the first one. Now, then we have found X, L, V. Which one comes before X and V or L? Clearly, L comes before both of them. Then we have V or X. That is V, and that is X. So V comes before. So we would expect this to be number 3, while the word that contains X is going to be number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So word number 1 is the word eggs. Word number 2 is word elderly. Word number 3 is every. Word number 4 is exercise. Let's have another example. This is an example of 4 words where we have all those words starting with G sound or G sound. This letter is followed by O and O here, while here by L and R. So we need to know whether O, L, R, which one comes first? Okay, let's start. O, okay, that's L. Then is it O or R? That is O. Then comes the word with R. Now you notice here we have two words starting with O. How can we deal with them? Okay, so after O we have L, and again here we have L. So we have to look at the last letter, which is F and D here. Which one comes first? Is it F or D? That's F and that's D, which means the word with D comes first. So now we need to understand which one you are going to classify as number one in the dictionary. That is it golf, gold, glass, or gray? We have said the first letter is always the same. So we have all of them start with G. Then we have O and L and R. So L comes before all of them. So we would expect the word glass to be number one. Now, after glass, we would expect either gold or golf. Is it gold or golf? It is, as we said, gold, because the D comes before the F. So this is going to be number 2. This is going to be number 2. While we need to compare golf with a gray, of course, this is number 3, because the basically R comes after the letter O, so this is going to be number 4. Let's check. So the first one is glass, the second one is gold, the third one is golf, while the fourth one is gray, depending on the order of the letters according to their alphabetical order. Now moving to another group of words, remember, relative, reusable, reunion. Now look, the first letter, the second letter are exactly the same. First and second, first and second. Now we need to look at the third, M, L, U, or U. Now remember and relative. Now this is where the L letter is followed by the letter M, which means L comes first, then comes M. So this is going to be number 1 and this is going to be number 2. Now let's look at the second group. We have reusable and reunion. The first are the same, the second are the same, the third are the same. Now we look at the fourth, which is the S letter here and the N letter here. Which one comes first? That is the S and that is the N. So this comes first. We would expect this to be number 3. And the one that contains S is expected to be number 4. Okay, so let's check. Relative is first, remember is second, reunion is third, while reusable is fourth. Let's look at another example. We have marriage, world, and full. These are totally different letters, so it is easy to tell which one is going to come first. So let's see. So we have M, W, and F. That's F. So it comes first, and that's W, and that's M. So M comes second, and W comes third. So basically, the word that starts with F is number 1. The word that starts with M is number 2, and the word that starts with W is number 3. Let's check. Okay, that's full first, marriage 2, and world is 3. Again, together, visit trees. Different letters. We have 2 words that start with T, so we look at the second sound. We have a word that starts with V. Now, first of all, we need to understand that V comes here and T comes there. So the word that starts with T are going to be before the word that starts with V. But we need to know which one together or trees are going to be number one. So the first letter is the same. So we need to see O or R. Which one comes first? That is O and that is R. So the word that has O in it is going to be before the one that has R in it. So basically, we can think of together as being number one, while trees as being number two. And because V comes after T, this is going to be number three. Together, trees and visit. Okay, let's have another one. Special, almost, cry, husband. S-A-C-H. Let's see. We can easily know that this is going to be number one because it has the first letter of the alphabet. Which one is going to be number two? The word that starts with C. Then we have H or S. H comes before S. So this is going to be 3. While S comes almost at the end. So basically this is going to be number 4. Let's check. Almost, cry, husband, and special. And it goes on like that. We have a list of similar exercises. Environment, change, and fire. E-C-F. E, C, and F. Which one comes first? C. So this is going to be number 1. Then the word that starts with E, this is going to be number 2. F is going to be number 3. Okay, change, environment, and fire. Another exercise, tradition, group, volleyball. So T sound or T letter, then G in here, then we have V. Which one comes first? That is number 1. That is number 2. Sorry, that's number 2, and that is number 3. So the word that starts with G is going to be number 1. The word that starts with T is going to be number 2. And the one that starts with V is going to be number 3. Check. Okay. So group is number 1. Tradition is number 2. And volleyball is number 3. Okay. That's even another one. Culture, reunion, aunt, and safe. So what do we have here? Clearly we can see aunt, which is in A. Then we have culture, start with C. Then we have reunion, start with an R. Then we have safe, start with an S. So the word that starts with an A is going to be number 1. The word that starts with C is going to be number 2. The word that starts with R is going to be number 3. The word that starts with S is going to be number 4. Okay. So aunt is number 1. Culture is number 2. While reunion is number 3. And safe is number 4. Let's have another one. Guy, very, and grocery. Okay, so what do we have here? G, V, and G again. So we have the J letter in here. And we have the V. Now we know that because V is at the end, this is going to be number 3. Now how can we decide guy or grocery? Okay, so those are the same. We look at the second, U and R. Where is the U and the R? That is the U and that is the R. Which one comes first? R comes first. So we would expect groceries to be number 1. while guy is going to be number 2. And basically very is number 3. So let's check. Grocery is number 1. And guy number 2. Very is number 3. Okay, another group. Hotel, alone, and come. That's an easy one. A. So we have A here. H and come. So C comes before. Sorry. C. And H comes after. So we can now tell this is going to be number 2, number 1, and number 3. So the word alone is number 1. The word come is number 2, while hotel is number 3. Okay. Alone, come, and hotel. Grinder, grindstone, grip, and grist. This sounds a little bit difficult. Why is that? We have the same G sound here. Sorry. G sound, and another G sound. Now the second letter is also the same. R, and R. Let's look at the third one. I, and I. So now we have 3 letters that are the same in the same word. Now what do? We have to look even at the 4th letter, which is here N. And here it is also N, but here it is P, and here it is S. What does that mean? We need to know which one comes first, N or P or S. Clearly the N sound is there, while the P sound is here. Then the S comes here. Okay, now we have a grinder and we have a grindstone. D is also the same, but here we have E, while here we have an S. So which one should come first? It is where we have a grinder first rather than grindstone. So we now expect that a grinder to be number 1, because J, R, I, N, D, E, and S. The E comes before the S. So this is going to be number 1. Number 2 is grindstone, because G, R, I. Now here we have P, and here we have N. And N comes before, so this is going to be number 2. We have a grip and we have a grist. P and S. Which one comes first? That is P, and that's S. So B comes first, so this is going to be number 3. While in a grist, this is the last one, which is number 4. Let's look. Okay, so grindstone, if you look at the different color now to show you which letters are exactly the same. So we have a grindstone, sorry, should have made a mistake then. Okay, a grinder is number 1, a grindstone is number 2, a grip is number 3, and grist is number 4. Okay, now here is another one that is a little bit difficult. Pace, Pacific, and pack. P are all the same. Then A, all the same. Then C, they are all the same. We look for the 4th one. E in here, I in here, and K. Which one comes first? That's E, and that's I, and that's K. So 1, 2, 3. So the one that has E is number 1. The one that has I is number 2. The one that has K sound, K letter, is number 3. Okay, let's look. So pace, Pacific, and pack. Okay, show, shower, and shovel. What do we have here? S-H-O, S-H-O, S-H-O. So 3 letters are exactly the same. We look for the following letter. W, W, and V. that is the W, and that is the V. Which one comes first? We need to know. Okay, so V comes before any of the word that contains the W, so we would expect shovel to be number 1. Okay, what about shower or basically show? Because here we have to wait until we finish with show, then we move to shower because it has an E, so we would expect this to be number 2, while this is going to be number 3. Let's check. So shovel, show, and shower. Okay. Let's look at the example clearly stress. The example stress. So S-T-R-E, 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 S-T-R-E. So we have 4 letters that are identical. Then we have S, E, N, and N. How can we do that? Okay, let's see. So that is E, strength. Okay. And street. Now that is S, and that is N. Now to know which one to start with, is it strength or strengthen? Because they are exactly the same up until here. So we finish the one that does not have anything extra first. So strength is going to be before strengthen. Okay, but we need to know whether we have stress or street first. Stress and street, they are identical up until here, but here we have S and E comes before. So the word street is going to be number 1. While after E here we have an S and here we have an N. And because N comes before S, so we would expect strength to be number 2 and strengthen to be number 3. And S comes even after both N and E, so we would expect stress to be number 4. Okay, let's check. So street is going to be number 1, and strength is number 2, and strengthen number 3, while stress is number 4. Okay, so this is again the end of our lecture number 12. We still have only 2 lectures of grammar and we finish. Hopefully by the end of the course we will have some sample exam question to discuss, and if you have anything difficult to ask about, we will basically explain this through the live session. So thank you very much for attending this lecture. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.